Okay, guys, we will start in 3 minutes. Okay, good morning, everybody. I hope everybody can hear me loud and clear. If you can't, please let me know in the chat. So good morning, drivers and customers that have used our services before or are interested in hearing our services. There's okay, I'm hearing a small delay on my side, so I'm not sure if it's going live or if there is an actual delay for you guys. But let's get started. So this is our first annual general meeting. Okay, sorry about that. So yes, so this is our first annual meeting with for Midriva. It's been 1 year since October that we officially did our launch, and it has been growing ever since. This is a very important meeting for our drivers just because there are some changes that we would like to do in order for our platform to blow up in a way. So let's get into it. And so our mission is to improve the taxi service in Belize by providing the general public with a safe and reliable transportation that also creates new job opportunities while striving to enhance and grow the economy for Belize. With this, we fully understand that there's a need for this service for customers as well as for drivers that want to make an additional income. Our vision is reliable transportation services at your fingertips. What does this mean? This means that you just use your mobile device, you can book a ride. There's no more calling multiple drivers or storing multiple driver numbers into your phone. And what is Midriva? So like mentioned, it's an application in your cell phone device. We have two apps, one for the driver, which is the black app, and one for the customer, which is the yellow app. And the two apps basically communicate with each other to get the customer from point A to point B. This is the information that we received from the IDB, which is the International Development Bank. And what Midriva can do for Belize is grow the economy, the GDP, by 6% within a 10-year time frame, and also decreasing the infrastructure costs for the government of Belize by 15%. Midriva adds a custom service where it's more of an experience, a journey than just a regular service that we've been used to where you call a driver and they come and pick you up. As we have nice features inside the app where you can see live tracking and also having a digital accountability in the app itself for the driver as well as the customer. We're enabled to increase efficiency for passengers from getting from point A to point B, as they can make the request instantly and see the driver approaching them. So there will be no more late visits to school, no more lateness to work. So we're adding a service of efficiency into our system, and also decreasing the pollution. As we all know, a driver will leave their taxi rank, go pick up a customer, and then they have to go back to their taxi rank. While being a Midriva driver, you can be anywhere and receive a job within a 1.5-mile radius. Also, safety is a very important feature where, as our drivers know, we vet all our drivers. We have their identification. We have digital sources of payment through eCash and very soon DigiWallet. And also we're working on getting the local debit cards and credit cards to be working in our system. Also, our drivers do stick to the speed limit. So this is what I wanted to share with you drivers, is the image you see on the left-hand side. This is what we get to see on our platform, and this is how we're able to justify prices for the customers as well as rates for you guys, to make sure that if the drivers can't make money, the driver can't make money. So this, if I can just go through this a little bit. So the name economy, that's the vehicle type. So we currently have two types, which is delivery and economy. We want to bring back the budget, but we're just waiting for a larger driver base so that we have the right amount of capacity of vehicles in each category, so that we're not losing out on jobs, which we'll get into a little bit later. Our base rate, this is the cost for a driver to get to the customer. Now this can be changed to a lower, sorry, I just want to make sure I okay, live right. So basically the $3 is a flat rate where it gets the driver to the customer. And then, so for example, there is cost. For every driver out there, there is cost from getting from the customer to the driver. So the $3 is to cover that 1.5-mile radius. Charges per kilometer. So we're using kilometers just because it's for mathematics, it makes dividing and multiplication very easy in terms of converting kilometers to distance as well as time as well. So we're currently charging $1.50 per kilometer. Now the exchange, the conversion rate is around, for every kilometer is 0.6 miles. So we're looking at, for every mile, more or less, it's $1.50 that the app is currently charging. We're considering increasing this to $1.70, and we'll get into that in a little bit. And the reason for increasing that, so that because of high fuel prices, as well as getting back to wherever you need to go. So it's going to cover your vehicle maintenance as well as your fuel. We're currently charging 80 cents per minute, and this is where we want you guys to. The polls are open if you're able to access the polls. The 80 cents is equivalent to $48 an hour, and if we reduce it to, let's say, 40 cents, that's $24 an hour less Midriva's commission, which is equivalent to $18 an hour. On our next slide, we'll show you what Uber is currently charging in the United States. Obviously, there's a conversion rate, but we feel this is important, where if we adjust the hourly rate where you drivers are comfortable, this will allow us to be more competitive in the market. And the #1 marketing easy source is word of mouth. So if somebody says, okay, the driver rates are very reasonable, they're gonna refer to a friend, to a friend, to a friend, and before you know it, you as the drivers are able to take this on as a full-time job, or the minute you go online, you'll be able to receive jobs systematically because the request is high. The 3-kilometer threshold, this is basically, we cap the limit at 1.5 miles so that you don't have to go too far. If not, it's not going to make economic sense. Imagine getting a job in Orange Walk and you're in Belize City. It's not going to make viable sense to go way to Orange Walk to pick up the customer. So we cap the radius so that way it's more economical for every driver. And within the radius, let's say another driver is outside the radius, they won't get the job, but another driver inside the radius will receive the job. And after driving for 3 kilometers, the rate goes up so that you can get home and still have money in your pocket. So we have that rate currently at $1.95, and our plan is to increase that to $2.10 per kilometer, which 1 kilometer is 0.6 miles, just as a reminder. Extra seating capacity. So this is where we, for every extra person, and we do it in twos. So for 1 to 2, they won't get an extra charge of 70 cents, but 3 to 4 would get an extra charge of 70 cents, and 5 to 6 will get, so it'll be $1.40 for 5 to 6 people in the car. So this, and this is per kilometer again. So this is to make sure when you have extra weight in your car, there's more fuel burnage. So this is to cover that extra weight cost and also some extra money in your pocket as well. So we have a base rate, which currently for economy, it's $7.32, which is the minimum charge. And we're able to adjust this by setting the minimum amount of kilometers or miles that we're currently used to, and also the number of minutes, which you guys are able to vote in the platform. So that way you can say, okay, let's make our minimum rate at $5. Because what will happen after 1.5 kilometers, then the meter of the mileage starts charging. And after 3 minutes, then the meter starts charging. So even if we set, let's say, this to 1 minute, after 1 minute, so the base rate will be very low, but the minimum rate will be very low. But after, let's say, 1 minute, then the app starts charging per minute and also for the kilometers. So for short rides, it will be very cheap for the customer, but you are getting paid for your time and you are still getting paid for the fuel burnage as well as the maintenance. So I just want you drivers to bear that in mind. So this is our page for Uber. And just to give you an idea, so an average Uber driver in the United States earns $18 US an hour. And for Belize, our rates are currently at 48 Belize. So if you even do the exchange rate, they're still earning less than what a current driver is earning at the moment. Hi, Mr. I believe, or Miss Lachman. If you'd like to say something, you're welcome to say something. Okay.
I'm just listening, yeah.
I guess not. All right, just had a hand raised. So if you have a question, feel free to put it in the chat and I'll definitely answer the question. Okay, so going back, so Uber is still earning $36 per hour. And so this is Belize. So we can't just, in a nutshell, we just can't charge, we can't just double it because we have our own local economy. So this is where I want you drivers to think about it. If we can lower the rates of the hourly rate to, let's say, $25 or $30 an hour, it's still good pay if you really think about it, because we break it down to the second. And also remember, that's just your time. It's not fuel time, it's not maintenance time, because that is calculated differently, which we showed earlier inside application. So I believe $25 to $30, even if you guys decide to vote a little bit lower, we can always raise in the future, just to get that vibe going where you guys are benefiting. The more rides you can accomplish in a day, the more money you can make, on that sense. So this is where I would like drivers to make a vote on we will be verifying numbers on the system as everybody has registered to be on this platform. So we will be counting the drivers' votes and not just customer votes, but we will show the results at the end of the presentation. Also wanted to note, we have Ms. Kanisha, who will be doing a live presentation from Digicel to share some rates with you guys a little bit later as well. So going back to Uber's rates, we are charging more. So the lower we charge our rates, the fee will be lower for the customer, which the customer will spread the word of mouth a lot quicker. And don't forget, you're not driving too far to pick up the customers. So you're in that 1.5 kilometer radius, which is a 1 mile radius. And if you have any questions on this, feel free to ask away. Okay, so I'll go to the next slide. Also what we can do as well, what Uber currently does in the United States, and I'm referring to Uber because they are the largest giant of this kind of technology. And what they do is they can also increase their certain wages for individual drivers. So let's say if you've been working with Midriva for 5 years, we can say, okay, you don't need to be on the minimum because you're an experienced driver. So we can put your rate at additional higher rate. So we will be able to, we can't do that at the moment, but that's something that we can always build into the app, like what Uber has done. So that way, for the experienced drivers, you're not getting the same rate as a new driver. So that those are things that we can actually do that by education. If you have a master's degree, you can say, okay, we can bump your rate up a little bit. But again, this is something that we can add into the future, probably within the next year or two. And because every time we do something to the app, it has some heavy costs. And as some of you may know, from beginning of October to now, the app has gone through a lot of changes, to the point even in a week or two, the app will have a whole new dynamic to it as well. So this is a current, if we go back to the hourly rate. So we're currently charging 80 cents, which is equivalent to $48. And even if we just keep the base rate as it is and lower the rate to 40 cents, which is equivalent to 24 less the commission, which is 18 dollars an hour. And the base minimum rate would still be $6.29 if we don't change the minimum minutes or the minimum kilometers. Then the base rate would still be, the minimum rate would still be at $6.29 at 40 cents a minute, broken down to the second as well, right? And also if we do that to 25 cents, which is equivalent to $15 an hour less Midriva's commission, works out to $11.25 a minute. I just wanted to show you a little breakdown of what it would be like if we only change the hourly rate and leave everything the same. So that's why your guys are able to make that vote, and we go from there. So that, to me, the ideal hourly rate would be $20 to between $20 and $30 an hour. I think that would be a fair rate for the customer as well as the driver. But you guys are in control, so you guys make your vote as you choose. I'm just making a recommendation so that for those drivers that do take this very serious, there's an opportunity for you guys to make more than what you were working for somebody, or this is something extra for your side income to do what you ever please to do with it. So what would happen if we reduce our rates compared to the taxi flat rates? This would make Midriva very competitive in terms of word of mouth is goes faster than Has Track or Tiger Mode. In that sense, where if I find out that the driver rate is cheaper than the taxi, what would I do? I would tell Tom, Dick, and Harry, everybody that I know, hey, the driver got lower rates. So this will be an opportunity for you guys to get more jobs on a daily basis, as that's our intention. We're doing our part where we are doing our marketing. It's all over social media. We're currently advertising on Channel 7 and Channel 5, and everything that we do has a very expensive cost in a way. It's not cheap to advertise in any kind of way. There is a cost. If it was free, then Midriva would be everywhere, trust me. So we are doing our part in sharing the knowledge, and I understand that it's only been a year, and my experience of being in business, it takes about 3 years before any business really kicks off. So we still got 2 more years to go. But by you guys assisting us with dropping our lower rates, we can expand faster, if that makes any sense. And then also we can do surge charges. So when it's raining, we can jump up our rates. When there's a high demand and we don't have enough drivers, we are able to justify the rates so that rush hour, early in the morning, in the evening, we can have like a peak charge, call it, where if our rate was $5, let's just say, we could jump it up to $7. And so we're able to do that on all levels. And so that you guys can benefit from that high. Uber does this, as well as all the major companies around the world. They do implement a surcharge. So this is something that we can implement. So, sorry. So again, with the advantages, it gives us a competitive edge in the current existing market, which is the taxi market, as well as shuttles from the hotel market. As if the tourists start learning more about it, we are advertising inside the international airport, and we advertise on Google Ads, YouTube, Facebook. So we do have all those ads. And so if a tourist searches taxis and Belize, Midriva comes up in that ranking up there. So so by having our lower rates, they won't think twice. They'll just automatically use the system. And when they use the system, it's you guys that benefits, as well as Midriva, to allow us to spend more money on the marketing, so that when it gets to a point, we no longer have to do marketing anymore, and we can do other dynamics with the application to make the app better. And if we can make the app better than Uber, that's our vision, is to be the #1 application in Central America as well as the Caribbean. It would also implement fuel wastage. So at the moment, we're getting one job there, but it's not consistent. So imagine after one job, you get a next job, there'll be a lot of fuel wastage. It would stop fuel wastage. I mean, it would also increase your finances for you as well as for the driver, right? So Midriva is a shareholding company, and we currently have it at 500,000 shares. If you're, as a driver or a customer, you are interested in buying some stock, as you would get back a return off the profits annually from Midriva. So there is an investment opportunity. If you are a driver, you're interested in buying some shares, you're more than welcome to contact us today or in the future to say, hey, I would like to buy a couple of shares. And you're welcome to do so, and you would get your dividend profit return on the yearly closure, as we would like to say. And we're being Belize is being the headquarters for the entire region. Wherever we decide to go, you would be benefited off of the whole Midriva, not just Belize Midriva. And we'll get into that a little bit later as well. I recently had a meeting with the IDB Bank, where it was kind of like a Shark Tank presentation, and they threw an idea, and it was some good food for thought, where we can implement a service like here, where it says, so Midriva would be willing to reserve out of the 25% that we collect, 2.5%. And for any participating drivers that are interested in putting an extra 2.5%, let's say, and then, so we have a total of 5% of every ride, right? From participating drivers, and Midriva puts the next 2.5. So if you have mechanical issues, you can always come to Midriva and say, hey, I need a new part, but I don't have the finances. And this money would be in a high interest account, where we say, okay, here, we can buy you your new exhaust or a new transmission or brakes or anything. So it's kind of like an insurance gift back to the drivers. So there's a possibility of that. We can. It was a nice idea that they approached, where we could even because we know what vehicles all our drivers are driving, we would be able to know, okay, what parts we can actually buy in stock that that wear and tear. So we could probably sell, let's say the brakes, for example, that we'll be able to sell you the brakes cheaper than what you can buy it on the existing market. So there's many opportunities by doing it where the driver gives 2.5 and you guys give 2.5 back off every job and have access to this funding so that we can have all the right equipment to keep you guys on the road without having to have your vehicle off the road for X amount of time. So that's an idea that we're thinking of, and if you are interested, let us know. And we still have to work it out logistically how exactly we will do it, but it's an idea that the IDB proposed, and so we said, hey, that's a good idea. So we're keen on this idea, and like I said, you're giving 2.5 and we're giving additional 2.5, so it's kind of like a win-win. So bonus rewards. So we're going to implement. So starting from this year, 1st of November to next year, 1st of November, when we do our next AGM, we will announce who did the most jobs throughout the country, and we will give back a percentage, and we're considering giving back 1% out of the whole 25%, giving back 1% bonus to that driver that completed the most rides. So that way, it's an incentive for you guys to keep accepting a ride, completing the whole process through the application, and it's just in time for Christmas. So we said that would be a fun idea of us showing our appreciation of the administration side that we would like to give a reward to the driver that completes the most rides. So from January to now, we call it loss of revenue. So on our back end, we can see who canceled the ride, if it was a customer, if it was the driver. We can see when the customer makes a request and if it was accepted by the driver, or we call it a timeout. So meaning they made a request and either the X amount of minutes where the job gets blasted out to the nearest driver, no driver is accepted, or they just decided to stop the process of requesting a driver, maybe because a taxi came nearby or a taxi driver approached them at the airport. We don't know what are the reasons, but we have a dedicated staff now where every 20 seconds the website is being loaded so that we can access that real time of timeouts to contact the customer and say, hey, do you still need them a driver? And then in the WhatsApp groups that we currently have, we send a blast, hey, just turn on your app. We're going to make it easy. All we're going to say is turn on your app, and that way you guys know what to do. Turn on your app. You might have to refresh it or whatnot, because we're going to tell the customer just do another request, and that gives you guys, so that we don't have to do a lot of explaining. That's what we're trying to cut down our explanation time. So when we say turn on app, that just means a customer is making a request, and if you turn on your app, you could be the driver that accepts the ride. So loss of revenue from the 1st of January to now, and we averaged it at $10 per job. So a total of 1,764 jobs were timed out. No driver was available. And that's equivalent to more or less $17,500, which out of that, if you multiply that with from 75%, majority of that is for you drivers out there, because the drivers just taking the 25%. So just to give you an idea what's been going on, it's not a little bit of money. So there is money out there to be made for you drivers. I'm going to take a little break, and then after the 3 commercials, Ms. Kanisha will take over the mic with a digital presentation. Okay, so we will ask Ms. Kanisha to take over. Okay, so we will ask Ms.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me well?
Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for including Digi in your AGM. Congratulations on your first AGM. As Mr. Preston said, my name is Kanisha and I am from Digi's Small Business Unit. So today I'm just going to share with you some of the products and services that I think will be beneficial in the type of service that you're providing. So just a little bit on the small business unit, it was created to provide premium services and products for small and micro businesses. Our idea is to be a partner to these businesses to assist you with products and services that are going to help you reach your milestones and grow your business and achieve success. So for example, right now, in One is Self-Employed, you're providing a service to Mr. Preston, but you may want to expand. You may want to also start providing courier services through Midriva. So as your ideas blossom, we want to be there, build a relationship with you and be there with you to hold your hand through. So some of the services that we have mobile services, we have internet services, we also have services that device financing, and all of these services, I think in some way or form will assist you with the type of business that you're in. So I'll go directly into our postpaid services. So postpaid plans are to be beneficial for you because you're on the go. You're on the go, you need to have minutes to talk, you need to have text, and of course, you need to have data. So our postpaid plans provide all of that for you. It's unlimited talk and text about Digi and smart numbers and anytime data. What varies between each plan is the data allocation. So for example, our smallest plan has 8 gigs of data. And then our larger plans, the Elite and the Max, those are also shareable plans. So you can have up to 5 members on the Elite and 7 members on the Max. And if you notice, the Max plan gives you 120 gigs of data. These are all plans that you would pay monthly. Now, if you are a current prepaid user and you don't want to get rid of your number, you've had it since high school, you have an attachment to it, then you may want to only take out our postpaid data plans. So this gives you the convenience of having data on the go. So for this, we have, again, varying plans from our entry to the family plan. The large and the family plan, like the postpaid plans, allows you the flexibility to share the data with other members. So we also have our DigiNet plans, which give you the benefit of having internet at home and to have minutes, talk and text and data on the go. So we have our entry plan, which is a limited time offer. That's 20 megs, and that's currently at $49. The promotion for the entry plan is that you get free installation. For the DigiBasic, that's a 40 megs plan. You also get free installation and the 3rd month free. But now the 2 plans that I think are very beneficial for you because it gives you the best of both worlds are the Digi Double plans and the Digi Triple plans. Both of these plans allow you to have minutes, talk and text, and data to either a prepaid number or a postpaid number. Also, you have the benefit of free installation and the 3rd month free. So, devices, phones.
Are you sharing your screen?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
You're
I'm
not
not seeing it. But
Okay, I'm sorry.
the rest of the drivers are.
Is anybody else seeing the screen? Oh, it says that you've disabled me from sharing the screen.
There we go. Sorry, Ms. Kanisha.
It's okay. So let me just go quickly back to the plans just so that you're able to see what I was saying before. So these are the postpaid plans, and apologies for you guys not seeing the screen. These are the postpaid plans and the data offered and the different prices for each plan. As I was mentioning, we also have our postpaid data only plans if you wanted to keep your prepaid number, because for a postpaid plan, you would need to change your number. So again, the data allocation for each plan and the ones that are shareable, and of course, the monthly charges. And then I was talking about our Diginet plans, and I was also pointing out the bundle plans that give you both internet at home and data, talk and text on the go. And again, just repeating here that the current promotion for our Diginet plans is free installation. And for our Boost plans, which is the basic, double, and the triple, you also get the third month free. So I was now looking at our device financing, because what I was saying is what's crucial to your business is having a reliable phone, one that not only allows you to answer, of course, and text and use the data, but allows you to, keep track of your schedule, of your finances, maybe take better pictures. So what you have two options with getting a device from Digi. You can always purchase by cash, but if you would want the opportunity to afford a little better phone with better features, then you can also purchase a Samsung device on an installment plan. So just, for example, looking at the higher end ones, we have the Galaxy 6 S21 FE, that's for $75 monthly. And then of course we have the new Samsungs that came out, the Flip, those are for $130 monthly, $156.25. So they're low flexible plans that you can fit within your budget. And at the same time, you would have your device, you could have your postpaid or prepaid postpaid plan or postpaid data only plan, all the things that you would need to be efficient to offer premium services to your customers. So what I was going to do was to share the presentation with Mr. Preston. It has more details in there in regards to what the requirements are for the different plans. So it's something that you can look through. And then I'm also sharing here the contact information for the reps from the from the small business department. So if you have any questions, you can always reach out. We'll be happy to talk to you and give you more information. But if you have any questions now that I can assist with, please feel free.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Kanisha.
Thank you to Mr. Preston, and good luck with the rest of the AGM. I look forward to hearing from some Midriva's drivers. And good luck, everybody.
Okay, can you email me your presentation? That way
Yeah.
I can share it with our drivers.
Yes, I will. Thank you again.
Okay. Okay, so drivers, let me just unmute my thing. Can everybody see my screen? Sure. Screen. Okay, guys, let me just bring this up. Okay. So as Ms. Kanisha said, they're providing Midriva drivers with special rate plans, so you guys can receive some savings with Digicel. So for those that don't have a postpaid plan, feel free to contact us, and we can share Ms. Kanisha's contact so you guys can get some savings. We have also contacted Shell, and they are working on something for all our drivers, and we will put a minimum drive requirement so that our drivers can benefit from discount savings on fuel. So we are doing our part to pass on as many savings as we can to our drivers. So as you guys already know, we have the minimum fare set at $7.32, and we hope today we get to adjust these rates for tomorrow. So currently the application takes international credit cards. It takes cash where you guys can collect. The next app update will have eCash integrated, and we're currently working with Atlantic Bank to accept local debit cards and local credit cards to make the transactions a lot easier for customers. And as you know, when you guys need the money, we transfer as soon as we can. I just wanted to bring this up again. If a customer does pay with credit card and you get the option where it says cash collected or cash not collected, that means that the credit card was declined for whatever reason. We don't know the reasons why. It could be that the system didn't accept it for whatever reason. So whenever you do get that option, cash collected or cash not collected, try to collect cash from the customer. Just say our apologies, but the credit card was declined. If not, feel free to contact me. I'll talk with the customer directly and see if they can transfer another way. This has happened a couple of times already where the customer has tried to pay with a credit card, and we have managed to get the monies back from the driver. So, but it's something that we can't guarantee because people are people. But it's we are trying to get that process locally, so we have that ease for customers. As you already know, Midriva takes 25%. So off every dollar you make through the app, 75 cents goes to you and 25 cents goes to Midriva. And we pretty much spend all our money on marketing and on the admin team. So there are some heavy costs at the moment, but it's something Midriva is prepared to take on, as our mission is 4 Belize is 3 years strong commitment and keep progressing thereon. Going back, so every month, every 20 days, the accountant sends invoices. We've been a little bit delayed, but she's slowly catching up. Just want to make sure messages that make sure that everything is good. Okay, so moving on. So Midriva is expanding to Mexico and to Guatemala on the 1st of December. And what does this mean for our drivers? It means if you are driving into Mexico, you'll be able to turn on your app and accept jobs, as well as use our Midriva services in Mexico if you're not, and Guatemala if you don't have your vehicle. The Ministry of Transport is working on agreement with Petén in Guatemala, which is Melchor, all the way to Flores and Santa Elena. It's one of the biggest states in Guatemala. And they are working on an easy transition for drivers from Guatemala to transport tourists into Belize, and vice versa for Belizeans to take advantage of of transporting tourists into Guatemala as well. We don't know on the exact timeline for that to happen, but we are completing the paperwork for Mexico and Guatemala, and we should be launching 2 customers by the 1st of December. That's our goal timeline, and we're already on the nearly to the middle of November, so it's coming up pretty fast for us. And what this does, this adds more exposure for the Midriva drivers, as well as so that you guys can benefit from the tourism that's flowing in and out of the country. So, so like I mentioned, we are doing an app development, which, if I can get this to play, which, as you can see on this one, this is the meter charging in quetzales, which is the foreign currency of Guatemala. And also this new feature will be for our customers as well, where they can, I just imagined a scenario where where a customer, sorry, is driving with one of our drivers and they only have $20 in their pocket. They'll be able to stop the ride at $15 and still have some change in their pocket to buy their meal or whatever they need it for. So this is something that will be coming into the next application update, and we're hoping to have this updated by 2 weeks from now. Hopefully it'll be sooner, but we're giving ourselves 2 weeks to make sure we knock out all the bugs and whatnot. The application for the driver and for the customer will also be in Spanish and English, and this is because we're expanding to our neighbors, which will speak Spanish, as we all know. So for those Malaysians that only know Spanish or struggle with English, they'll have the option to use the services in Spanish as well. Like I mentioned, eCash will also be accepted. We've completed the trial run. Everything seems to be flowing A-OK. So we're just waiting for us to knock out a couple more bugs in the app, and we'll be pushing it live on the App Store and the Play Store. And then we're just waiting on the banks to allow us to accept that local debit card and credit card for a better flow for our customers to make payments. And then also we're waiting on DigiWallet as well for the integration, so that we have all options available for customers and for you guys to receive your finances as well. So I'm not sure how many drivers actually look at the customer app, but this is a feature that we recently added about a month and a half ago, I believe, where for every ride that a customer completes, they earn points. And with these points, they can buy credit to use on their next ride. So how does this work for you drivers? It doesn't mean that you're doing the ride for free. It just means that Midriva will be paying the customer for the ride. And we just wanted to give them a reward system where they can benefit from using our services. So let's say I don't believe any customer has used a reward as yet, but when it goes through, it will show a discounted rate what they will pay you, and then Midriva will pay you the balance. So don't feel that you guys will be taking this loss. This is more of us just giving the customers a reward back, should I say. And it's pretty easy for them to do. They just click on the points, they select the value that they would like to use on their next ride, and they can apply the voucher. So this is for the customers, and this again is having this reward program gives that loyalty where a customer will try and use our services rather than just calling a taxi out there. So this is very beneficial to our drivers. Customer service tips. Again, you always want to greet your customer with a smile. We all have our bad days, but just by having that friendly little smile goes far. So don't be shy with your customers. Again, they're paying you, and that smile, you believe, goes a long way. Be friendly and courteous when you can. If you have the time, you can always open up the door. You can always ask the customer to put any special requests on music, or just put easy listening music. Not everybody's interested in having a conversation, but for you drivers, I know you've had a bit of experience communicating with the customers and vice versa. Assist with bags when you can, and always say thank you for using Midriva. It's just a reminder to their memory that they use the Midriva services. So those are some little customer tips. Also, brand yourself. Although you're working with Midriva, it helps the more people that knows about this application that we have, the better it is for you and also your colleagues in the system. So it's not just about benefiting one driver, it's benefiting all drivers, because if you're not available, at least another driver can be available. And this is what I wanted to mention as well, that with the large amount of timeouts, if you can imagine a customer that their first time using a system and they don't get any drivers, how disappointed would you feel? Like they would probably maybe not use the services again. And we do our part where we say our apologies that no driver was available. But the more drivers that gets on board and takes this as serious as with any work out there, it would be more beneficial for Midriva drivers to try and take this a little bit more serious, where we reduce the number of timeouts. Just because it's disappointing. I feel bad whenever I see a timeout, and I'm sure the customer feels bad as well. You can I don't think we're there yet, but eventually you could start selling water in the vehicles, or give them a bag of water on those hot days. Try to use air fresheners in your car. I'm a smoker. What I tend to do is I keep a cheap cologne in my car, and when I pick up, I just spray my cologne so that the car has a little fragrance other than my bad smoking smell. So those are things that you can do to implement a nicer service. Every 20 days, for every ride that you've completed, we do send an invoice which looks similar to this and allows you to get good accountability, and you're able to check the accounting on your application as well. If you have any concerns, feel free to contact us. We are human, so sometimes we do make mistakes, but the invoice system is ready, available every 20 days for you guys. We're still in COVID times. You can always wear your mask if you're uncomfortable taking in strangers, and protect yourself at all times by having some sanitizer for yourself, as well as if you want to share with the customer as well, you're more than welcome to. So just to give a hands-on, it is illegal for us, for Midriva drivers, to pick up random people off the street. What I've done in the past as well is, when somebody has flagged me down because they see the Midriva logo, is I ask them to download the app and do the job through the application. It takes less than 5 minutes for the customer to do it. And when the customer says they don't have data, I put on my data and I share it with them through my cell phone. So those are things that you can do to earn a new customer. But it is illegal for us to pick up people randomly off the street. So that's why we have the application there. Also, it's unsafe for you drivers to just pick up somebody, because if something were to happen, we won't know who you picked up or any information just because it didn't go through the application. So to keep yourself safe, always try and do the job through the application. Again, we don't have any discrimination factors. We're against sexual discrimination or racial discrimination, where we accept everybody. So if I like to take this time, if anybody has any questions as a customer or a driver, feel free to use the chat, and I'm here to answer any questions. And if we look at our polls, I'll keep it open at the moment, but this is what it currently looks like. All right, so we have 56% saying let's set the minimum vote for $7. The minimum, sorry, the minimum bid at $7. Okay. Change minimum distance. We have it at 30% at quarter of a mile. Okay. Change minimum amount of minutes. All right. So everybody's voting remain it at 3 minutes. Okay. So that means you guys are happy with the current rates. Okay, so we currently have it at 31% keep our existing hourly rate. Okay, I will be verifying these to make sure that it is from drivers and not anybody that jumped on to the system. We have 50% that wants to increase it to 2%. Okay, we shall do so. All right, so that is the current poll. So that's 16 of 16. So I'll end the poll, and this will give, I'll share the results. So you guys can view it. I believe my screen is sharing it, so. All right, so I'll allow that to share, and I will be getting a proper results when I end this. So are there any questions out there? There's also a questionnaire when you guys can, when we end this presentation. So if there's any questions, feel free to, I believe it's open. Any videos that we do send you, we please ask to watch them, whether it's a new commercial or anything else. I will stop sharing my screen so that I can access more tools on the webinar. All right, thank you, everybody. It's been a pleasure working with everybody and presenting our AGM. Any questions, anybody? I'll leave. Okay. All right, I'll turn off my camera for now. And if you have any questions, again, please feel free to type it in the chat. Thank you all again. Okay, guys, so I'll stop sharing the polls. And since I don't see any questions, I shall be ending the webinar very shortly. Any questions, anybody?